Welcome to Same But Different. This is back to our old ways, Same But Different. I really prefer us doing this in person, but...
Yeah, it's going to get harder with the winter, too.
Ew, I hate driving in the snow. You know what else is ew?
Nice.
The content of the movie we watched, The Apprentice, and it stars Sebastian Stan as Donald Trump. And this movie, it follows Donald Trump in his earlier years when he was just a baby, still very much in his father's shadow, a newbie in the real estate game, and he's just learning to be a businessman. Donald Trump is the apprentice in this film.
That's what that means.
Please tell me you're joking.
I'm not. He didn't care about the title. I just thought it was a play on his TV show. And then this movie didn't even go up to his TV show. So I was like, eh.
We'll get into it. Anyway, The Apprentice. Brody, what'd you think about this movie, I guess?
I'm embarrassed about the title thing now. I just never thought about it, okay? I didn't care to piece two and two together. So this is a well done, if not very standard biopic.
Yep.
Kind of follows all the notes. Nothing stands out. For example, when you watch something like Rocket Man, like the larger than life dream sequences, like it takes a biopic and it does something extra. Lots of movies do that. This one did not. It was very run-of-the-mill, so that's fine.
Some of the editing was pretty cool. And the music, because they use cool music in regards to the editing, sometimes felt, you know, like the holdovers, how they do like the zoom-in camera for 70s and stuff like that. I don't know. The editing was kind of cool.
The music, for sure. That was a point. The music was great. Very well. Even down to like the lyrics in the songs that were playing. It was very meticulously chosen. I don't know if this is the editing so much as it is the cinematography, but oftentimes in those boring boardroom meetings or whatever, it was almost shot documentary style. Just pan over and zoom in a little on someone. And then, I mean, the most important thing to mention about this movie, to give it credit, is the acting.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everybody in this movie, but Sebastian Stan specifically, was unbelievable as Donald Trump.
Agree. But I also think that Jeremy Strong stole the show for me. To me, I put him a little bit above Sebastian Stan.
The only reason I'd say I'm still going to say Sebastian Stan, they were both amazing. But for me, Sebastian Stan as Donald Trump changed as the movie went on. You got to see not only looks, but personality, voice, mannerisms. You saw it come out as he got older, and it was eerie.
I described it to Victoria as him gaining confidence in himself, because in the beginning he wasn't very confident, and as he learned to be in the business world, he gained more confidence, and like his Donald Trump isms as we know him today came out more and more.
As impressive as that is, it is also where the movie took a big hit for me. I'm gonna say I like him. You can't like Donald Trump, but you almost can respect the grind or what he's trying to accomplish in the first half of the movie.
Just like admire his ambition,
I guess so, yeah, because obviously what he's standing for is still not something I personally stand for, and it's still despicable. But like watching this as if it wasn't Donald Trump, if this was just a movie, he wants to succeed so bad, and you're watching it as a movie, you're like, okay, go, buddy, go.
And impress his father and prove people wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. As a cut and dry movie, you are rooting for aspects of him in the early parts of the movie. As it goes on, and Sebastian Stan's acting gets more impressive, you start to see on screen what we've seen on screen incessantly for the last 8 years.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh yeah, this is the movie I'm watching. It's unfortunate because I didn't want them to make a biopic that wasn't truthful. Of course it was meant to be truthful, but the more he became Donald Trump, the less I liked the movie.
I agree. I mean, that's your quote-unquote protagonist, right? That's your main character. Like, how are we supposed to stay on board for this shit?
And there was, I mean, a lot of stuff going on, but there was a very pivotal turning point with him and Ivana for me.
Who knows if that was true or not? I want to say yes because of, like, who I think Donald Trump is, but the only people in the room would know if that's true or not, right? And neither of them has said anything. So that could have been a work of fiction. Who knows?
I don't know how much of this along the way was fact or fiction or embellished or true or because I don't care. And that's the long and the short of my review is I didn't care going into this movie, and it didn't change my mind. It was well made for what it was. I respect the director. I think he did a good job with what he was tasked to do or wanted to do, I suppose. Even outside of it being Donald Trump, this kind of biopic is just not my cuppa. I didn't dislike this movie. It did drag. But that's because it's such slow, heavy content. I don't know that dragging is a bad thing. At 2 hours, it felt more like 2.5. But it was really cool to watch the flip in Mentor to whatever he became at the end of that movie. You felt for Roy by the end of the movie, and you weren't really supposed to. I'm surprised it was able to get you to that point. Not for me, but again, I didn't dislike it, so I gave it a soft 6 out of 10. I forgot we were supposed to start with that.
We're back to our old ways, so it feels like we need to...
It is what it is.
Not terrible for, considering what I thought we were walking into. Piggybacking off of what you ended with, the whole character arc with Jeremy Strong's character, Roy. You think, and you're supposed to believe in the beginning, and he's referred to as such, he's the devil. Like, he's the worst human being, blackmails, treats people like shit, homophobic, even though he is clearly homosexual, the worst.
Oh, yeah.
You are signed off on the fact that this is the villain, this is the bad guy, even though Donald Trump's in the film, this is the bad guy. By the end of the film, I actually was like, oh, Roy, no.
Yeah, it was weird.
How did the movie do that?
I don't know, and I doubt it was like that in real life. I probably wouldn't have cared if I was alive when all that went down.
The movie took somebody so despicable and made me feel for him because held up against what Donald Trump became.
Yeah.
He became someone I cared about and I was really hurting for. Let's also keep in mind, folks, I don't know who any of these people are in this movie.
Just Trump and Ivana, and even Ivana hardly.
I don't know anything about these characters, and I'm just saying with the way the movie depicted them, by the end, I felt for Roy. I didn't like Donald Trump from the get-go in this movie either. That's another thing. Like, you don't really like the guy at the beginning.
Yeah, but it was also just interesting to see this smart, driven young man. Yeah. Like, I don't like him, but there's like an iota of respect for what he could have been, I guess.
You gotta wonder what he could have become if Roy didn't get his teeth into him, you know? We said before we started this recording, we're talking about a movie here, and we're talking about characters. I'm not assigning personal beliefs or anything to anything here, unless I say so. It was well written. It was well directed. Like you said, it was a well-made film, and you just can't deny that. Either they shot it on film or like digitally made it to look like film afterwards. Either way, they made it look like it was filmed in the 70s, early 80s, which was really cool. The makeup and the prosthetics were amazing to make people look the way they did. Like that one guy who was Trump's dad.
His dad, yeah.
You've seen him in so many things. He's a Canadian actor, and I was like, oh, that guy. But you see him in this, you're like, whoa. Even Donald Trump, Sebastian Stan, like going from early Trump to older Trump with the gullet, and the gut. And the orange face, even like the skin around his eyes got heavier, and it was so awesome to see that transformation.
Can we briefly touch on the Frankenstein inspired liposuction scene they had? I was like grimacing, not because it's gory, I don't care, but something about the way it was so raw. I've never seen liposuction. I didn't know how that worked. That looked aggressive as fuck.
Yeah, just like jamming it in there.
They treated him like a monster, and I thought that was choice, obviously.
If I were to assign any meaning out of it, it was almost like, for me, they were just sucking the last of whatever humanity was left in them out. So that was the awesome part. The acting was incredible. Like I said, Jeremy Strong was my favorite part. He acted incredibly. And I read in the trivia afterwards that one of his partners during the time commented on his role. Roy's partners during the time commented on Jeremy Strong's portrayal of Roy and said it was uncanny, flawless. Even down to the head movements when he talked. Sebastian Stan did a wonderful job too. He inputted Donald Trump's mannerisms into his character in a non-cartoony way. This man is a cartoon in real life. But Sebastian Stan implemented the character of Donald Trump and his quirks and his mannerisms in a non-cartoony way, in a very organic way. It was incredible.
It was subtle because this is the beginning of what we know. You could see it forming, and it was very cool.
To speak on whether or not the movie was factual, no idea. I think we're gonna settle on a same here.
Oh,
I would be inclined to give it a hard 6 though. And you gave it a soft 6.
Cheeky little flaccid 6. Also, just to close it off, can we just talk about how dumb the name Donald is?
So dumb.
That's not a real name.
I was just going to say, it doesn't sound like a real name. Have you seen The Apprentice? What did you think about it? Let us know in the comment section below. Let's try to avoid politics here. We don't really want to get into that. Just comment on the movie. I want to know your thoughts on the movie.
And tell us who you voted for.
No! Brody, no.
Okay.
During the shit. Next week, we're going to shift gears tremendously. We're going to try and watch the new musical, Wicked.
Yeah.
We've both seen the stage production.
Wicked's top tier.
I'm hearing wonderful things about the movie, and I really want to see it. So let's try, and I emphasize try because we're busy. If we don't, we'll watch something else and be back here to review that for you guys. Hope you liked the show.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you for watching. Before you leave, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with your friends. Just leave comments everywhere. Thanks for coming. We love you. And keep watching movies.
Bye.